Hey guys, Kurt here from Convertica. Today we're going to talk about some simple CRO strategies you can implement on your own website to increase conversion rates. Now, it can seem super complicated when you're getting started with CRO. There are some basic human psychological triggers, I guess, that you can follow that provide a good foundation for your CRO efforts. Instead of always looking for these hacks or button colors or what is the best call to action text, if you can understand where your user or your visitor is along the buying cycle and where they are in the whole process of purchasing, or if they're just looking for information or anything like that, it will set you up much better in your CRO efforts. So we're going to focus on practical applications and things that always work. And I'm going to go through and show you what they are one by one. And we'll go through some detail. We'll look at some examples and we'll talk about, at the foundation, what they mean and why they work. So first up, we're going to talk about scarcity. Now, using scarcity ethically and morally, I think, is a fine line. Some people push it a little bit too much, but a lot of the biggest websites, which you visit every day, use them. And I'm about to show one, Booking.com, which most of you would have been to. They use it a little bit too much, but I mean, it works and they would have tested it a lot. So let's jump over to Booking.com right now and take a look. Usually I've noticed when you search dates far away, this doesn't really work, because what Booking.com wants you to do is they want you to think that your hotel is in limited supply, which a lot of time it is, a lot of time it isn't. So what happens is a lot of the hotel aggregators only have a certain amount of rooms to sell that are divvied up between them. So for instance, there might only be one room left on Booking.com, but they might have 4 rooms on Agoda. So always remember, you don't have to get sucked into this marketing tactic. I know I have many a time when I've wanted to stay somewhere, and I've actually stayed at My Brighton before. I live in London, so I've been down there many times. It's actually a really nice hotel, but it's obviously very busy right now because normally it's around £100 a night, and because the price is higher, they want to show that it's in limited supply. So I can click over to the listing and we'll see a few more tactics that they're using on here. So interesting little image they've added there for credibility, I guess. And if we scroll down to selecting a room, we can see there's only one room left on Booking.com. So legally they've had to change it now to say on our site, which is interesting. But this here has, I'm sure, increased their conversions by a ton, and by using scarcity. So you can also see here they've got only one room left on our site on the whole hotel, but they've also got limited supply in Brighton and Hove for your dates. Now, I think it's a good weekend coming up. It's by the beach, so there's only 9 4-star hotels. So that's interesting. They've also added how many other hotels are unavailable on the site, meaning that it's further pushing you to incentivize you to buy, which is pretty interesting, right? These little tactics can really increase conversions. So I've actually jumped over to Agoda.com to see what they're doing too. Some interesting stuff. They're doing a little bit different. So to build up credibility, they've got bestseller based on your search criteria. I don't think I've ever booked a hotel that's rated 6.6, but who knows why they've pushed that. Location, I guess, is more important to some people. And you can see here, it's good for view and housekeeping, which is interesting. Still, 6.6 would be an interesting instant turn off for me. 342 reviews. Credibility's been built again. Here's an interesting one here. Users are booking a place in Brighton and Hove every 51 minutes on Agoda.com. That's an interesting credibility indicator. I mean, a very interesting scarcity tactic, meaning that you should hurry up and book a hotel because it's getting close to the weekend and it's gonna sell out. So interesting here too. 6 special offers in this property. Pretty cool. And then here, more of a credibility building exercise to make it seem like it's more valuable. Cheapest price we've seen, £65 a night. That is cheap. I mean, that's probably why it's only rated 6.6. Some people value, I guess, it being cheap over quality. And some interesting credibility tactics here. You can get a free cancellation to make you feel secure, no payment today. So all these tactics are used by a lot of these aggregators. At the end of the day, these booking sites are just marketing companies. They don't own the hotels. They just book the sites and create high converting websites. I'm sure you've been to a company's website before, a hotel's website before, and it's just absolute trash. So the next CRO strategy I'm going to talk about is using multi-step forms to decrease bounce rate and increase engagement. Now, whenever you have a large form on a website, it can be quite daunting when you can see all the fields in one hit. One thing we've tested that works really well is by breaking up the questions you have for visitors into a multi-step situation. So for instance, on our homepage is a great example. We have a free audit application. People can fill out information on their website, and we send them some information on what we do. We do a full audit and so on. So if they have, let's say it's our website, we have a lead generation website, we've got 0 to 50,000 a month, and convertica.org is our website. I know that's spelled wrong, but I'll just push it ahead, and then name, email, and so on. So by breaking it up, instead of having one huge form, we split tested this and it had a much higher engagement. Now, we did this also on a website marketplace called empireflippers.com, where you jump over to their website, you enter what type of business you have, whether it's an Amazon Associates business, whether it's an e-commerce business, or so on. And then it looked like this originally, where it had a form asking just all the questions broken down. It looks a little bit different. They've updated the website since, but it still has the multi-step form in place that we split tested for them. So let's just say we're going to sell our website on here. So we have a lead gen website. How many hours do you work a week? I'll put 23 for now. When did you start the company? It was 2016. Around then. Nope. Next. I'll put 500k. What was your average monthly net profit? This isn't it, but I'll just put it anyway. Next. How many unique visitors? And because it's breaking it down into little chunks, now, this is quite daunting having to fill all this information out, but because they show a sliding scale to show how much you're completed, I'm on the last slide. All right, cool, I'll fill it out. Whereas if you didn't know that, you might have a lower chance of completing. And we did split test having a completion bar or no completion bar, and it does perform better. So how many users do you have per month? How many subscribers? I'm putting in random numbers here. 4 revenue channels and social media followers, because all this information allows Empire Flippers to go and value a website to see how much it's sort of worth. You go through, and it comes into their back end, and they've created all this since we work with them. So based on the information that we entered, here's an approximate valuation of our website, and then steps to start the process to sell. So it's all broken down into little chunks, and it has a much higher conversion rate this way. So similar to our website, it's just broken down into chunks. So if you have a long form and you have a lot of information you're trying to capture off your visitors, try multi-step forms. Try breaking down your form into 3, 4, 5 steps, and have the most valuable information you're requesting off them, leave that to the end. Now, it's a little trick that I know Agoda does, or they used to, where they have you fill out all your information. So your name, your address, your I think your credit card information is enter last, but your name, your address, when you're arriving, all these type of things. And then the next step, they add the tax, and they know that people will hate when they add this tax, but you've already added all the information, and you know how long it takes to book a hotel, so they left that off to the end, which is a little bit manipulative, but it obviously works. So the next CRO strategy we're going to talk about is social proof, a very powerful and high credibility building tactic for increasing conversion rates. So again, I'm going to go back to our website again, not to self-promote, but just to show how we use it. So we've got social proof, we've got a badge to our Trustpilot, which we've got a bunch of reviews, which allows people to click and jump over to read all our reviews. And then straight under it, we've got our featured on, which people can click through and read the guest posts we've done on each of these customer or partner. So we've either worked with these brands, or we've done a guest post on these brands. So it allows us to build credibility. And you probably see it a lot and don't even notice it, but it allows users to build, website owners to build trust very quickly with their visitors. Now I'll go and show a couple of others. Also, since I was showing Empire Flippers before, they've also got it on here too, featured in all these large brands, which you can just click through and see the link to. I know a lot of companies just add the brands, which again, there's an ethical line there between faking it till you make it and actually having the real links where you have been featured. Most people won't check it, to be honest, but you don't want to be that guy doing dodgy stuff. So so they've got it on Empire Flippers too. Now, one interesting way to build social proof that that works well on some types of websites, like an e-commerce website, is an app called Provely.io. So there's a couple of versions of this, but essentially what it does is you'll notice there's a little badge that's popping up here on the left hand corner every few seconds, and here it is here now. Scotty A from Newport Richey, Florida, recently purchased Provely. So they've got this app plugged, it's a WordPress plugin, plugged straight into their WooCommerce or Shopify or whatever backend it is, that automatically pulls the sales data in and builds credibility. So if you can see other people are buying your product or service, then it builds social proof very quickly. And again, trusted by 7-8 figure businesses, 4 more all over the world. Yeah, I mean, Grant Cardone doesn't have the best reputation, but still, like, it's really good at building credibility very quickly. And as we've talked about before, trust icons, as we'll talk about next, they're also got them featured here too, showing, you can pay by all these. I don't know why they're saying boost conversions by over 250%. I mean, you could, I guess. It has the potential to, which I guess is how it's worded. In our industry, it definitely wouldn't be the case. I've seen maybe 5 to 10% increase on a lot of sites, but I guess it depends on the type of niche and service that you offer. But this is a really good way to increase social proof very easily. And like I said, you can plug it into your backend, so it allows to pull the information automatically. And I do believe you can input your own data too. So again, the ethical line here on building social proof, I'm sure a lot of people are just putting in fake sales data and it's pulling the random information through there. So there you have it, guys. There's some really simple conversion rate optimization strategies that work all the time. Like I said, you've probably seen them before and haven't realized it, but building social proof, credibility, adding your trust icons and so on throughout the checkout, secure checkout, what kind of credit card icons you use. If you're capturing user information, having a multi-step form broken down into like a gamified style app, so it makes it fun and enjoyable, I guess, to fill out a form, and using scarcity, making it seem like you've got a limited supply of something to increase conversions. Now, I use Booking.com as an example, but a lot of people use this scarcity tactics in the digital space, even though the products are digital. You see it all the time, people selling courses. We only have 15 spots left, or we only have 15 courses left or available. But everyone knows, obviously, that they're digital products and they're easily replicatable. So yeah, use these things, test them out, see what works for you, what works for your niche, what works for your industry, your monetization method, and so on. But these are just a few of the conversion rate optimization tactics and strategies we use at Convertica. Now, if you'd like a free complimentary CRO audit where we go through your website and break down exactly where we see opportunity, where we see your site could be increasing conversions, jump over to convertica.org today and submit your website via our own multi-step lead capture form at the top of the homepage, and we'll talk to you soon.